welcome to you. My name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction, and I'm bringing you today another Q&A. You can leave your questions on my Instagram stories when I call for it by following me on Instagram at Dales_addiction, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will put a community post up, it'll enter your feed, and you will be able to ask all the questions that you desire. So here we go. So on this Q&A, I've had some feedback from people who didn't want their names mentioned before, and because people haven't explicitly asked me to read their name or not read their name, I just think it's safer if I don't. So, hi Dale, do you have a favourite bag out of all of your bags? Just that one bag that you love the most out of all of them? I think it's Gary for me. I know he's not practical, but he's just so fabulous. I absolutely love your channel and thank you for all your hard work that you do for us. That's really lovely, and I greatly appreciate comments like that. It's really, really nice. Gary, definitely. If you don't know who Gary is, let me introduce him. Here is Gary. He is my JW Anderson clutch and channel mascot. He's such a vibe, gorgeous little guy. Definitely not practical, but he watches over my bags and does a wonderful job. If you're asking me what my favourite bag in my collection is, well, I think it's still the same, and I think I've said this each time I've been asked recently. It's my Louis Vuitton Petit Mal that I picked up from Rome in the beautiful ostrich lilac. It is just gorgeous. I love the texture, I love the colour, obviously. I love the story about how I got it. It really was a highlight of my trip last year, and even though I don't get to wear it an awful lot, it is an absolute treasure in my collection. Love the European capers. I love your style, it's very individual and unique. You seem to stay true to what you like and enjoy. Who are your style icons? Oh, well, first of all, thank you very much. Today was actually a little bit hard because I went floral on floral. You know, it wouldn't work for everybody. For me, it works. I'll put an outfit of the day picture up over here. I think I just go with my intuition a lot of the time. I think a lot of what you wear is about your attitude. If you don't think it looks good or you feel awkward, it will show up in your look. To me, it's just around getting the silhouette right, the shapes right. I think the shape is the thing that really throws me. If I can't get the proportions of my outfit correct so that I feel good, then the whole thing won't work. And it wouldn't matter if I had, like today I was going to wear a leopard print bag with this, okay? I still think that would have worked. Actually, let's have a look. Print on print on print. I think that works. I really do, but that's how my mind works. Yeah, I think you just have to play. Give yourself time to play. It's really one of my great joys, is picking out what I'm going to wear. My style icons, like they're a mixture. I think I answered this one on an Instagram Q&A recently. So I love, if we go back to shapes, I love Diane Keaton and her kind of beautiful, masculine, kind of androgynous style. I love Jennifer Connelly, same reason, quite structured but also playful with her prints. Obviously a muse of Nicolas Gasquier. Iris Apfel, of course, more is more. I love the character Carrie Bradshaw, so I guess we've got Patricia Field to thank for that. I love, I get inspired a lot by the combinations of that character and unexpected shapes, silhouettes, prints. There's a lot of people on Instagram that I am inspired by as well. And I just look for hashtags like colourful fashion, and I find other women having so much joy getting dressed. It's probably more so their authentic style than some celebrity stylist. So yeah, but maybe I can do a video about my Instagram inspirations. Let me know if you'd be interested in that one. Hi Dale, I'm pretty sure I'm your biggest Canadian fan. You have such a magnetic personality that truly draws people in, me included. Thank you. I have 3 questions with a few sub-questions thrown in for good measure because I'm sneaky like that. 1. When you were growing up, was there one person in your life, such as a relative, teacher or friend, who gave you a piece of advice that you still remember to this day? If so, what was it? Look, nothing that really stands out to me. that was explicit advice, but I do believe that I had one teacher in particular who really believed in me, and she told me that. She said, Dale, you can, you just apply yourself and you can do anything that you want. And I was taking her classes for economics, accounting and small business, and I was also paying for myself to go through school, and she knew that, and she was inspired by that, I think, and as a result she really looked out for me when I had moments of, I just wanted to have fun. I was 16, 17 years old. Sorry about the dogs. And when I'd kind of veer off track, she would kind of check in with me. So, yeah, not explicit advice, but always kind of, watching. Question 2, what kind of student were you in primary school and secondary school? Related. Did you enjoy going to school, or were you someone who could hardly wait to be finished? Did you have to study hard for tests and exams, or did academics come naturally to you? Did you ever skip school to hang out with your friends? I really enjoyed school. I love learning. I still love learning to this day. One of my best high school friends that I am still in touch with, we met in Japanese when we were 15. And we both thought it was really hard, and our parents both thought it was the ticket to our future. Neither of us speak Japanese or work in businesses that liaise with people who only speak Japanese. So anyway, it was fun. It definitely opens up your mind to different cultures. But yeah, I really enjoyed school. I loved the learning aspect of it. I loved the social aspect of it. I wasn't a sporty person. I did the work. I think things that come naturally to me were probably observation, critical thinking. Things that don't come naturally, attention to detail, referencing, math. I still did really well in it. I applied science, but yeah, I had to work hard. Nothing really came easily to me beside, English and that critical analysis. I never skipped school per se, but how my school was structured was that if I had a free period, I could just leave. So we would wander into the city, which was about half a kilometre away, and get coffee. As you do. What's your favourite movie of all time? I have 2, Shawshank Redemption and Ocean's 11. Oh, look, it is a hard one to answer, but I think about the movie that always makes me laugh, regardless of how many times I've seen it, and it's Austin Powers Goldmember. I know, it's not beautiful, it's not culturally, interesting, but it makes me laugh, and that's sometimes just what I want. I'm so glad I found your channel. I watch your vlogs faithfully and would love to see more cooking vlogs because your arancini looks so delish. Thank you very much. I'll say your name, Ruth. Thank you, Ruth. Thanks for your questions. Okay, Life and Lux Delights. Hi, Tanaz. In your opinion, with all the new luxury scandals, does it matter anymore if one buys fake or authentic? To me, it does. Because I don't buy it just to have the bag. I know that sounds ridiculous, but to me it matters. I don't like fake anything. I won't even buy alternate brand tomato ketchup. I know, I'm stupid. Marketing was made for me. To me it does. I don't like things pretending to be there's something else. I don't like people pretending to be, they're pretending blah blah. I don't like people who are pretending to be someone else. It's just a pet peeve of mine. It's just not something that I'm not for it. The second question, what do you think about other designer brands that are not so popular but are even more luxurious, like Metier, Frank Namani, never heard of, Moina, Valextra, etc. Look, I think some of those brands are obviously, built on craftsmanship and great names and designs. They are not, they're not things that appeal to me. And I think it might be the structured nature, the traditional kind of look to them, the materials. I think they obviously have a place. They have, you know, they have continued on for many tens of years, decades, many decades. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if I found something, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be keen to purchase it because it's not a well-known label. But I think the reason I don't look for it is because I haven't seen anything that, you know, stands out to me at this point in time. Next question. Since you are a foodie, have you ever been to New Orleans? If not, would you ever consider going? Perhaps in combination with another city or Caribbean island. Yeah, I'm a foodie for sure. She loves her food. Have I ever been to New Orleans? I have not. Would I consider? Absolutely. In fact, a few years back, I was planning to go to Louisiana and New Orleans, and especially for food, but also, you know, fun. But yeah, it's one of those things that is not a burning desire, unless somebody I knew really well had a destination wedding there or something and I had a really good reason to go earlier. But yeah, my mouth is watering as I talk about it, so it's very, very tempting. Here we go. When you go to Paris, what parts would you like to visit that you didn't last time? What new items are you wanting to get? I hardly visited anything in Paris last time I went. It was full of appointments and expeditions and fun, things that I would never be able to see, granted, on my own. So thanks to Meredith, I got to have those experiences. This time is all about seeing Paris and surrounds. So I'm going to the Champagne region, going to the opera at the Grand Palais. I know. Also going to a couple of museums, obviously the Louvre, Rodin Museum, I think. Antique shopping around Saint-Germain, you know, food, cooking, school kind of class thing. Yeah, just everything. The Marais, Sacré-Cœur, like there's a whole bunch of places that I've not been. I think Notre Dame's reopened again, so yeah, lots of things. All the things. Okay, you have amazing skin. I would like to know your skincare routine and food habits. Thank you. I am wearing makeup right now, but it is a light skin tint. So my skincare routine involves most days, cleansing. Then I use La Mer the potion as my kind of toner, and on top of that I use Verso niacinamide serum, and then on top of that I use CE Ferulic from SkinCeuticals. I think that is probably the number one thing that I do that makes my complexion nice and bright. Then I use a moisturizer, either Dauphine moisturizer or I've been using the Tatcha moisturizer at the moment. Super expensive, very indulgent and luxurious. And then probably a couple of times a week, the Dr. Dennis Gross retinol peel, and a couple of other times a week, the daily peels from Dennis Gross. Sometimes I use my red light mask. Sometimes I don't wash my face before I go to bed because I'm so tired. Full disclosure, like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. I don't drink 3 litres of water every day. I don't eat sugar, but I drink it. So I enjoy having a couple of glasses of wine. Yeah, I don't think that I do anything particularly impressive for my skin, but I am happy with how it is. I did have very combination skin when I was younger, and I actually think that hitting my mid-40s and the whole perimenopause thing has actually really calmed my skin down. So it's actually tends to be on the drier side now, but because of what I'm doing to it, it retains moisture. I'm not using any Botox anymore. Look at all this movement I've got here. And I prefer the shape of my face without Botox in it. I had looked at some pictures from last year, the year before, where I don't even know, my face wasn't moving, and I just thought, yuck, I don't want to look like that. It's just not for me. I'd prefer to just age and do the best with what I've got. So that's what I'll be doing. Can I please request a video from you and Deb from Wild Unfiltered discussing and debating classics versus quirky pieces? Bring your popcorn, Lauren. Look, I'll ask Deb if she's keen. We can critique each other's collections. That might be fun. Who knows how that would work out. Okay, following your last Q&A, you suggested I become a YouTuber to increase my confidence, which I'm gonna do. My question this time, my first and most recent luxury bag, is that a good idea for my first video? Yes, I think so, because you know you've done the research for those and it makes for a very kind of evergreen video as well. So people who are researching that bag will always, you know, find your video in their recommended. So absolutely, go for it. Would you consider a Birkin 25 or 35 now you have your 30? Let me grab it. It's actually my bag of the day, my 30. 25, I don't know. They seem a little bit dinky to me. 35, I have tried. I've tried my girlfriend's 35 in blue jeans and loved it, like wouldn't put it down when she was visiting recently. I might steal it off her when we're in Paris if she brings it. But yeah, 35, I think, absolutely. I think it's a beautiful bag. The trick is not to put too much in them. Holly, hello. She says, when are you doing your next meetup? And a heart. Oh, look, I don't know. I feel like that Fendi event was such like an out of this world experience, so unexpected. Seems like so premature for how big my channel was. I get really uncomfortable about the fact that there would be a meetup because I'm on YouTube, as opposed to that just a bunch of people that like handbags would get together and, you know, talk and chat. And there are some Zimmerman groups that do that actually, which I think is really lovely. So maybe there's more to it. Like maybe if I can make it not about me and just about us as a collective, that would be way more fun. Thoughts on LV destructuring their classics, the soft twist, the soft capucine. I like it, you know me, done but undone. I like the fact that they're kind of making them slouchy. The big slouchy Dauphine was the first one that really caught my eye. I got to see that in a kind of a preview at Louis Vuitton in Sydney with Meredith, and I thought, wow, I have never looked twice at the Dauphine bag, but in that size and that slouchiness, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm all for the destructuring of the bags. Fendi or Chanel? Hey, when Carl was here, both. Now, Fendi, but only just. Not really been stoked with a lot of Fendi designs recently, and my sales associate said to me that perhaps the low colibri heels are going to be discontinued, which makes me even more sad, and only the colibri lights will continue on, which have the skinny heel. And I'm just like, does Fendi not want me as a customer anymore? Seriously, it's been a long time since I've kind of been struck by Fendi designs, and that's why I don't talk about them so much at the moment. Beside my made to order, which is exactly because they haven't been bringing out those sorts of bags, and now they are bringing out large bags, but they wouldn't be what I wanted. I'm really glad that I got the opportunity to do the made to order. I'm keen to see the greens that are coming out this fall winter. But yeah, nothing is jumping out at me saying, yeah, I absolutely need to buy it at the moment, and I haven't been into Chanel for I can't remember how long. It just does nothing for me. When are you leaving for Paris? Also, how old is Lulu? Leaving for Paris at the end of November, and Lulu is probably about 1. Probably. I'm a bad mother. I don't know her birthday. I should look it up, but I think she'd be about 1. Yeah, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Here's a photo of her and Edwina. Is it worth it to buy a Millesime leather bag from LV? I'm so close to ordering one. Look, if it's what you love, if that appeals to you, absolutely it's worth it. I don't think you need anyone else to endorse purchases like that, because there's something in you that connects with that particular piece. For me, they're not for me. I think it's, you know, the colour, the types of bags that they tend to make them out of are not for me personally, but I can appreciate the beauty of them. And if it's for you, I'd say, and you're really connected and you love it, buy it. The one thing I would say is I don't know if you would get, you know, your money back on those, because they do mark quite easily. So just keep that in mind. Maria asks, my favourite luxury purchase this year. Well, I just did a video on my 5 favourite luxury purchases, so I will link that one in the description box below and you can go and check that out. Do you still resonate with your colour analysis? Have you found that it has limited you sometimes? Absolutely resonate with my colour analysis. Even now that I'm kind of lightening my hair and warming it up, it's probably made me more bright winter, but I use it as a guide for everything, not just the colour analysis. And I didn't really get a colour analysis done. I just worked through a bunch of exercises to determine my level of contrast, whether I'm cool or warm, and what was the other question? Was it about balance maybe? Anyway, so I didn't have like an expert do my colour analysis. I did it following like a list of activities. And it absolutely makes sense to me. Everything in my wardrobe goes with everything. Where there's a colour that I love, where you might say it's limiting, like see this acid green? Typically that wouldn't work in my colour palette because it's quite yellowy and warm, but it's not near my face. So it works with my clothes, but if it was like up here near my face, yeah, a bit different, probably not ideal. But that colour looks great with like across a purple or something like that, which does work for me. So I do stray outside of the hues that are recommended for my colouring, but not when they're like right near my face, if that makes sense. Will you visit La Samaritaine in Paris? You should. Why not? Let's add it to the list. Do you think influencers getting robbed is just a fake excuse because they actually sold those handbags? I don't know. I think that's a fairly extreme reason for clickbait. We are hearing of people getting robbed more and more. It is concerning. There's a lot of conversation happening around the safety of some big cities in the world. I don't think they're telling fibs though. I don't. If the colour lilac was banned, what would be your next choice? How cruel. Look, it would either be pink or green, I think. Easy. If you could only own one bag, what would it be? That's really hard. I'd stick with my favourite, and then the rest of the bags could just be cheapy ones from elsewhere, because that's pretty special. Do you ever sell your bags? Yes, I do. Not because I do an annual clean out. I just find that there are pieces that don't work for me. I think I've moved out everything that doesn't fit, things that will sell anyway. So I don't think there's anything in my closet here at the moment that I can see going for any reason. If I had to, I could sell them all. And I made that video recently as well, so I'll link that one down below too. Thoughts on Romance Was Born? I can see you in some of their styles. Look, Romance Was Born was a brand that I used to aspire to a long time ago. I loved their collections. They were so fun. Then they got a bit serious. I've recently seen them pop up in my Instagram again and really been drawn to their designs. So yeah, I haven't sought them out for a little while, but now you mention it, I might go and have a little scroll. Which piece of clothing do you no longer wear but can't throw away? Oh, it's got to be my Burberry trench. The trench that's a little snug on me that I'm desperately trying to find a replacement for. I have been able to make contact with a vintage Burberry trench store based in Soho. I think it's, or is it Covent Garden? In London, and they also have a store in Paris, and I've asked them if they come across one to let me know, but yeah, until I get the replacement I can't move that one on. Your next Hermes will be a Kelly? ? Look, it could be. I mean, as I said before, I love the 35 Birkin, but I also am leaning towards the more relaxed Kellys, so like a 28 Retonnet. Again, it's got to be in the right kind of colours, but because I love my top handles, I thought, well, why not? And then I know that you can ask for a longer strap to be made, so perhaps, you know, that kind of brings that up on the list. But I do not tend to find that I have a connection with the Cellier styles. They're a little bit too formal for me. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? Sea urchin? Thoughts on the current Fendi? The lollipop carrier has me laughing. Look, if those lollipop carriers go on Satire, I'll buy one, but I'm not buying one full price. My good friend Hannah has purchased one in the blue. It's just gorgeous, and I'm so happy for her. I really am. She loves hers. Current Fendi, haven't been a fan most of this year. You wouldn't have heard me talk about it, as I mentioned before, but I am interested to see some of these more grungy kind of colours come through in the fall-winter collection as it starts to drop. Next big purchase, none. Like, no more shopping till Paris. That's it. Done, done, done. What brand have you bought most bags from, shoes from, clothes from? Most bags? I'd say Fendi, followed closely by Louis Vuitton and Chanel. Most shoes? If we're talking luxury, it'd be Roger Vivier and Fendi. Clothes? Well, I've only really bought ready-to-wear from Fendi. Jewellery? Chanel. Would you like to do a training to learn how to create handbags? No, I'm happy for other people to do that for me. Yeah, I'm happy for other people to do that for me. I think almost like YouTube has been, turning a passion into work has its dangers, and I'd prefer to be a consumer, not a designer. Why is luxury YouTube all about Ozempic now? I don't know. You know, it's great that everyone's focusing on their health. I personally am struggling with all of the weight-related content in my feed, which is usually full of luxury content. And I understand why that's the case. You know, luxury is becoming increasingly less relevant. But I'm not here for that from my YouTube feed, so I don't tend to engage with it so much, and I hope it goes away. Final question, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. I have kind of been, I'd say, a bit quiet in the socials. I've just been focused on work and getting some things finalised at work, and that's been really great. Just keeping my circles small and trying not to stretch myself too much, but also conscious of the fact that I probably, you know, need to stretch a little more, because there's people that are really important to me that I haven't seen or talked to for quite a while, and I need to make time for that. So but me personally, I'm great. There's nothing I can complain about. And if I did, it would be a first world problem, and, you know, we'd all be laughing about it. So thank you for asking. These Q&As are always good fun to record for you guys, and I appreciate your interest in my life and my opinions, and it always surprises me that so many people are keen to ask questions, and I'm really grateful for that and for that interest. Thank you so much. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, ciao.